right, guys, welcome back to the podcast. We're on episode 4,
Number 4.
number 4, numero quattro. I went blank on how to say 4 in Spanish.
Numero this one.
My grandma would be ashamed.
Oh,
but-
stop yourself.
She's off the boat Spanish. She would be ashamed.
Okay, never mind. Yeah, she would be pretty
She
ashamed
would
then.
very much
Never
be
mind.
upset.
Dude, so fun. Just a quick little joke about that. Not about Spanish people, but I have a good friend of mine that's Italian, right?
Uh-huh.
And his grandparents were the first ones over here from Italy, right? So
Oh,
he's like
wow.
what, second or third generation, one of the two.
That's serious.
Yeah. Well, he for life. I mean, I keep telling him one day he's gonna like kill his grandmother by giving her a heart attack. Every time he goes over there and he cooks for her, he makes sure like he cooks like something Italian and then like Americanizes the crap out of it. And he said his grandmother just goes on a tirade, like she'll like destroy the entire kitchen, cussing him up and down about like because he put like a certain sauce on pasta.
That's hilarious.
And I'm like, I would love to see this.
That's like real. That's like legit Italian.
Yes.
Definitely getting pissed off about food.
Oh yeah. Oh, you put what sauce on what pasta? Oh, okay, yeah. Get out of my house.
My grandma didn't care as long as it tasted good. She could care less. Whatever you did to it, it's perfectly fine. As long as it tastes good, happy camper.
Dude, and that when it comes to like Spanish food and like Latin America and like Mexico and like all the different like Spanish nationalities when it comes to food,
Yeah.
I have found that that's like the driving factors. Like it could look terrible on the plate,
Oh yeah.
but it will eat so
Yeah.
good,
Looks. We're not here for looks. Like it's all taste.
and that's what matters.
Oh yeah. Because like, have you ever seen paella?
Oh yeah.
Like it just looks like a giant mishmash of goulash just tossed in a pan
And I'll
served.
eat my body weight in it.
Oh, 1,000%. Like, I'll get sick off of that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
It's so good. But, oof. That, you know what? I think that can easily segue into my first horror story.
Let's hear it.
So, like, I was second shooting. Hey, Courtney. It's awesome working with you, by the way.
Yeah, fun fact.
Like-
I don't know when this is gonna air, but Courtney's actually checking and shooting for us like at the end of the month.
Oh, look, hey, look at that. She's awesome. Great person to work with. We were, I'm pretty sure it was with Courtney. No, it wasn't with Courtney. It was my first time shooting that venue by myself. So sorry. Well, you got a free plug.
We'll still put your Instagram in the bio.
Right. So, like, it was at, do I drop names of the venue?
Listen, for the venue, yeah, because here's the thing. Sometimes the venue's not the one involved, right? If the venue staff, I'll tell, like for one of my stores, not to override you.
No, you're good.
I'm not going to drop the venue name because it was the staff themselves that caused this to be a nightmare.
Okay, because that's like, it's part of the stuff.
Oh, then yeah, I wouldn't.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right.
don't.
We'll save names then. But if you come and ask me personally, I'll probably tell you. But
Check them DMs, baby.
right, they've been like working like all day, obviously, and it's finally coming around to like dinner time, and it's like, I think it's my second or third time working this venue. Never had an issue before. Never, not even once. It's been smooth sailing, and it comes around to like, all right, it's dinner time. You know, bride and groom are sitting down, stuffing their faces. So I'm like, okay, like I need to get my food.
Time to eat.
Yeah, like time to eat, make sure everything's good. And like, oh yeah, y'all, vendor foods are like in this room, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Go into that room, dude. It's like a glass plate with a like plastic wrapped turkey sub on it.
Oh
like,
my gosh.
here's the thing: it's only half a turkey sub too. So it's like this tiny, like it's maybe 4 to 5 inches. It's
like-
not even like a real half.
Is it
kind
kind of like the turkey subs you get from like the gas station?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh my god.
It was, dude. It was it was probably like $1.50. They might have paid for that and stuff. And like the moment I got in there, I was like, oh heck no, dude. Like I have not just been working like 6 or 7 hours straight at this point to get this. Like not happening. And so like, but like keep in mind, like I'm very like passive a lot of the time. And I'll let things like slide. But like when it comes to food and I've been working all day and your boy still has what, 2 to 3 hours
I
left
was
in
gonna
the
say,
day.
and that's the thing. It's not.
And I still
over.
got to drive home.
We still got another 5 hours of work to do.
Yeah. Like I was like, oh heck no, that's not happening. So like went and I found like the coordinator. I was like, hey, FYI, my contract, which I do have this in my contract and if you guys want to put that in there. Also, second shout out.
Highly recommend it.
Thank you, Scott, for telling me about this because I didn't have it in my contract and I asked him a bunch of questions. This was like forever ago, so if you don't remember, that's perfectly fine. But he told me make sure you put in your contract that you get a hot meal that is the same meal that is served to your bride and groom. And I was like, yeah, that sounds fine. So put that in there, thank goodness. And I was like, I found the coordinator. I was like, yo, my contract states that I get the same food they get. And so, like, that needs to come up. And then when the coordinator told the venue was giving the coordinator, like, backlash and, like, this is our vendor meal and this is what we do and this is what we serve. And so, like, I had to even step in and be like, hey, look, I don't work for you guys. I'm not your staff. And, like, had to draw this ridiculous line that I feel like shouldn't have had to happen. And it went, like, back and forth. And, like, finally they just gave me the food. And I'm like, why is it so hard? Like, I know you guys are going to have leftovers anyways. Like, why is this so difficult? But they finally ended up giving me their food, which I almost ended up missing the speeches for what is it, like best man and like
Yeah, for
yeah.
sure.
So like that was like a whole situation in and of itself, which didn't have to be, which was the annoying part because I was like, it's literally just a plate of food. Like you already cooked the same thing for so many people. Like one plate of food is not going to be like a huge deal.
Absolutely not. But and
So
what's you brought up so many good points too that like we could talk on forever. But I really just want to kind of touch on like a couple of them real quick.
yeah,
One, if you're a coordinator listening to this, or you're a venue owner listening to this, it's no disrespect at all. Don't take it this way. But I don't work for you.
right.
I'm not your employee. I'm not your staff. I'm an independent contractor
Yes.
that happens to be working alongside you.
Yes.
Right? I can't tell you how many times coordinators, just based on their actions,
Yep.
it almost is as if like, oh, everyone, all the other vendors at the wedding work for me. That's not the case. That is not how this works.
No.
So if you're a coordinator listening to this, and that's you, self-reflection time.
Right.
That's
You're not the star of the show.
We're halfway.
You
through,
help with it,
right?
but
we're halfway through the year. It's not too late to change and meet that resolution.
right.
Right. let's change how we do things. Same thing for venue owners. Your job, and I hate to say this, is to unlock the doors, turn the lights on, and make sure no one's like breaking, like doing anything illegal on your property.
Right.
And that's it.
That's
Right.
yeah.
Your job is not to follow me around and tell me what shots look good or other people have done it this way.
Right.
Your job is not to tell me, oh, well, this vendor and that vendor. No. Your job is to unlock the doors, turn the lights on, set the chairs up if that falls under your purview,
Right.
and make sure nothing illegal happens on the property.
Right.
And that's it.
It's kind of like the whole like stay in your lane thing.
Yes.
Like as photo and video teams, like we really don't have much options when it comes to the venue. So like we're doing our best to work with what you guys have. So if we move things around, it's for the client. It's not for us. We're just trying to get the best shot. And the easier and better you are to work with, the more times we want to recommend you as either a venue or a coordinator. Like we want everything as smooth as possible. Like we want less headaches. So when it was like such an issue just to get a plate of food, like I was like, I never want to shoot here again.
Right.
Like I really don't care to shoot here
And
because this is annoying.
And that's the thing. Like, after a venue, specifically a venue or a coordinator, does something a certain amount of times, not so much coordinators because it is what it is, but like venues for sure.
Yeah, venues.
The first time I work with you, if something bad happened, like I'm not gonna say bad, but like it kind of rubs me the wrong way.
Yeah.
I'll, cool. We've never worked together before. Maybe you're having an off day. Maybe I'm having kind of an off day too. No big deal. No harm. Whatever. We'll go.
Yeah.
The second time, I can promise you, if it happens the second time, the next time I get an inquiry for that venue, I'm gonna tell them no, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
And that's just simple fact.
Yeah. It's
So you're hurting your clients.
you end up hurting your own business.
Yeah.
But yeah, that it can. I felt like because it was such a small issue too. That's why I felt I was like, this is so dumb to be like picky and like gripey over
Bro, I
like,
would say it was even a non-issue.
oh yeah,
Honestly,
I'm like this. Why is this even a thing? Like this should be like, I don't know, like, oh sorry, like here you go, plate. Okay, like
done.
see you later. Like, boom, done. All right, sweet. Got my hot food. I'm gonna stuff my face in like 5 minutes to get back out and start shooting again. Anyways, so it's like what's the big deal?
Right.
Like, I don't know. There's certain things like that, like I don't get.
Dude, that
So
happened to me at a venue one time, and unfortunately, so our contracts, just like yours, state the exact same thing. Like, we're gonna get the same meal that they get.
yeah,
Bottom line, that's it, right? I happened to be second shooting with someone, and whenever you're second shooting, if you guys, some of you listening, have never second shot for somebody before, you are representation of their company that day.
yeah.
You fall under their purview, and you represent them, and that's the end of it. And he didn't have that in his contract. So come dinner time, I'm like, okay, cool. And I'm just so used to like how we do business.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at like what they're eating, dude. And it was like the feast at Hogwarts when everybody arrives. Like I'm like this thing. Like I'm
You're
like
like-
in my head, I'm like, we about to eat. Like I'm excited.
We
Dude,
about to throw down.
I got a plate of white rice, which wasn't even hot. It was like you could tell it'd been cooked earlier in the day
Oh man.
with like this curry chili sauce on top. That was it.
Wait, so like not even like meat.
No protein.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
Like obviously like I'm part Asian, so like the rice thing is fine, curry's fine, but like still gotta have some meat, dog.
No chicken, no nothing. Just rice, curry sauce. And I will tell you, as much as I also don't like that venue, like for other reasons, but and I hate to say I'm not gonna name names. But this individual has reached out to me several other times now, and I've turned him down.
Why don't you just tell him? Be like, hey, bro, like, have you thought about adding this into your contract?
I've like brought it up in conversation, like off topic, so like the two never correlate to him. But I mean, it's just it's like talking to a wall.
Oh gosh.
Like I say he, that's been doing business for a while. He's kind of set in his ways, and it's
Yeah.
like it's worked for him. And he also is one of those people that's like he could care less about it. So it's like I get that
Until you get done real dirty.
until you get done dirty.
Until you get done dirty, dude. Like, it doesn't bother you because the contract doesn't. You're like, oh, it's fine. Like,
Yeah.
it's fine. And then when it happens that one time, all it takes is that one time,
Oh,
too.
yeah.
And you're just like, never, ever again.
For anyone who hasn't written a contract before or doesn't have a contract, please get a contract.
Please.
But once you get your contract, you're gonna laugh at this because it's gonna happen to you. You're gonna get like this base contract. You're like, oh, it works just fine, and then you're slowly gonna start adding to it, and we call it like the list of like mistakes.
Oh, yeah.
Right, a mistake happens. We're like, nope, add a clause. Oh,
Clause.
no, add a clause. Add a
Clause.
clause. Until like, and it's sad, but that's what it is.
Yeah.
A contract is literally just a list of things that have happened to me that I don't want to happen to me again.
Exactly. That's all that is. You're just like, yeah, that sucked. Let's put that in there.
Not doing that again.
And ooh, that happened to you? Yeah, putting that in there.
Oh yeah, and that's the other thing. As you swap stories with other creatives,
yeah.
you're like, no, that's not happening to
You
me.
go, oh heck no! How do I get that in my contract? That's how I was like. Scott told me that like I think I had shot like 2 weddings, and I didn't have a contract at that time.
Yeah.
They were just like, yeah, we'll like pay you, and I'm like, okay, and it was like solely like under the table, but I was still like new to everything. I was like under $1,000, like.
And all you see is I'm getting work and I'm getting paid.
Yeah.
And that's what matters right now.
And then I was just like, I have a lot of questions, but I was like, the only person I really knew at that time that did like photo and video for weddings was Scott.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, help me out. I was like, look, you ain't got to give me everything. Like, I get that. Like, if you want me to go like do a bunch of more research and stuff, I'm like, I get it. But what are like a
Take
few
me by the
things-
shoulders and turn me in the right direction
Yeah.
and tell me
I was
it's that way.
Yeah, just go over there. And I'll be like, you got it. Thank you. That's all I need.
Yeah.
And he gave me so many good pointers, like backup camera stuff. Like, because at the time, like, I was so new to that, like, so new to the industry
My
in
man
that
had a
area.
backpack, a camera, and 2 batteries, and he was against the world.
It was, dude. It was. Like, I shot my first wedding. This will easily segue into my next nightmare story. But, like, my first wedding I shot with, like, a Canon T5. And I had what lens is that? I had a 50 1.8.
As did everyone.
The Nifty. And what other lens did I have? Oh, I had the kit lens.
I was about to say the lens that came with it.
and
Yeah.
the kit lens. That was it. I shot the whole wedding with that because I didn't know any better. Couple got the photos, which at the time I didn't have a laptop. I didn't have a computer. All I had was my iPhone.
Oh man.
Yeah, boy edited that entire wedding on Visco
Oh my gosh.
and delivered it and never once got a gripe, never got a complaint. They printed photos, never had any issues. So I was like, okay, like apparently it was good enough.
Cool.
like, like didn't cross my mind twice.
And listen, and if that's you right now, one, nothing wrong with it. If that's
Yeah.
where you are, go listen to episode 1. We talk all about it. But also don't do that.
They could backfire on you so quick.
Very
which
easily.
is where I'm going with this. Like, I sold that whole kit and upgraded to the Sony A6000.
Oh yeah.
Bought the 50 for it.
It's like a lateral upgrade, but yeah.
Yeah, right. That's why I threw those quotes in there. I don't know if you just listen, I had quotes on that. I had their nifty 50 for it, and the 12 mil Samyang f2, I think it is.
Is that manual? It's a manual focus.
Yeah, it's a manual focus lens. So that was my kit. A6000, 50 and 12. Dude, I was all over the place. Like, there's an awful kit. Don't ever go shoot a wedding with that. I shot like the next like 3 to 4 weddings with that kit too.
Oh, not only do we just do the
Yeah.
next one, we
Oh,
just
yeah.
kept going, baby.
So like first wedding, perfectly fine, same routine, Visco edit, send it out, no complaints. I was like, dude, this is easy. I don't even have to have a laptop.
So
like,
how are you getting the photos from your camera to your phone?
the SD card adapter.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So
Okay.
so you grab the SD card out of the camera, you plug it into the adapter, and it plugs straight into your
So
phone.
not even like the cameras that we have now that could do like wireless transfer or like
Yeah,
through the
not
app. It
even
was like literally just like a dongle SD card adapter.
Yeah. Here's what makes it worse. So you ready for this
Oh,
part?
here we go.
Oh yeah, this is icing on the cake. So I found out that Visco at the time only edits JPEGs. Oh no! So I was only editing a JPEG.
Oh.
So your boy not only had to get like, I don't know, like I had to nail the exposure. It had to be perfect.
Yeah.
Because your boy only has this much room when it comes to editing a JPEG. So I was like, oh yeah, this is working fine. It was. And I was like, this is my favorite preset. Like, I think it was like,
Probably orange and teal, you know.
no, it wasn't. No. But I was definitely more bright and airy, I'll tell you that, which was a lot. It's hard for people to hear that because they're like, wait, Chris was bright and airy?
I
And I'm
say,
like,
man, I'm just without even looking
promise.
at your work, I'm looking at you. I'm like, it's not bright and
yeah,
airy.
trust me, it was a weird time. And so it was like my third wedding. Shot the whole wedding. Wedding went great. Everything, did literally everything the same. And I was like, yeah, no issues. But I will say it was my first African American couple. And so like I had never shot anything other than white people at this point. So like I already knew how to expose for that and all that. This was like a whole different challenge for me
Oh,
because
for
I never
sure.
if you've never shot like an African American couple, like you will know that it is a completely different process.
Yeah.
Coloring is different, like all that stuff is different. And like how you expose your image, the whole 9 yards. And so like I'd never done that before. And so editing like the preset and stuff that I had, like it looked okay, but it wasn't nearly as good as the other ones.
Right.
And I can say that this far forward, I mean, they were all trash to me now, but like,
And at that time,
Yeah, at
you're,
that time.
you're looking at it, you're like, well, it worked really well here, and it's what it is.
it's not my
here.
best,
Yeah.
but I'm like, it's passable. And I was like, it still looks like my work at the time. So I was like, okay, it's good. We'll send it. Sent it. Didn't hear nothing for like 4 weeks. And I'm like, no, thank you, no nothing. And at this point, like all the couples have been like, oh, thank you. Like we got the photos. I just want to make sure you got
I was about
them.
to say just an acknowledgement,
Yeah.
like you have them.
Yeah. And this was my first time it didn't happen. And I was like, oh no. I'm like, did something fall through? I wonder if it went to spam. And literally like the next day, after I had that thought, like the bride sent me a freaking book like of a message, and I was like, "Oh no, that's not good." And at this time, I was also still cutting hair, so I was at work.
Oh man.
So I'm like, I can't even do anything about this right now. So I'm like, oh gosh, like when you like you have something bad to read,
Oh yeah.
but like you can't get to it at the moment. So like your anxiety is just building up, and I'm like, she's gonna want a refund. I'm like, this wedding was like, I think at the time like $600. Like it wasn't a lot of money, period. And the government didn't know about it, so it was fine at the time. And like I finally get to the message, and it read like, "Hey, thank you so much for the gallery." And I was like, "Okay, cool, we're starting off good."
Starting off on the right
I
foot.
was like, "Is this gonna be like a compliment sandwich, like or what?" And it was like, well, "Thank you so much for the photos. Like our day of experience was great." And I was like, "Okay, good, that's good." She's like, "We love our photos, except the editing looks awful." She used the word awful.
That'll hurt you right there.
That was a gut check
Yeah, that'll hurt you.
so fast. And I was like, oh my gosh, what do I do? And she was like, is there a way we could either get our money back or you re edit the gallery? And I was like, I'll re edit the freaking gallery. Like my bank account ain't that big, girl. Like, we took this job because we needed the money. And so, like, that was my first time having to re edit. And from that point forward, I had actually changed my style, but there were still JPEGs.
Yeah.
But and after that wedding, I went out and bought a laptop. So learned my mistake, and that JPEGs are not good enough to edit, and that was the biggest pain in the butt. I had to ask for. I'm like, go on Pinterest, pick whatever photo you want, and I will do my absolute best to match that photo. And she sent me like 2 Pinterest photos. Dude, that
So
junk
much
was
to work with.
that was so hard. That was so
So
hard.
much to work with.
Yeah. Re-editing JPEGs and then trying to match them to a Pinterest photo that was most likely a raw edited photo.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
For
hard.
sure.
So, but sent the second edit. That took me so long to edit because at the time I'm like, I'm not an editor at that time.
Yeah. No.
I barely knew how to like. I barely knew what a preset was. Like in all honesty, barely knew any of that stuff. And matching a JPEG to something like that was like so
It's
hard.
almost impossible.
Yeah, but they were happy with the second edit, and I was like, whew, sweating bullets. That was my nightmare.
I appreciate that. Cool. Block. Never hear from him again.
No, I sent the gallery.
Just kidding. Don't do that.
They said thank you so much. We love them, and that was I never heard a single
That's what I'm
word
saying.
from them.
After that point, like, cool. If I don't ever talk to you again, it's cool.
That dude, that was like the most anxiety and stress that I think I've had from post wedding, like after the wedding, especially like because they were like, "Thank you so much, we love the photos." I was like, "Oh yay!" And like, but the edit is awful, and I'm like, "Oh, yeah."
Well, I got one for you.
Oh gosh,
That
here we go.
yeah, this is a good one. And it was a long drawn out process. This all happened over the course after the wedding was over. This was like the next like 6 months, right? Long time. We were doing it was originally supposed to be photo video, but at the last like moment or something like that, they hired another videographer, right?
Oh,
Whatever, that's cool. You're not getting your money back,
right.
and now we're just doing photos, so it makes my job even
A
easier.
lot easier.
Cool, whatever. Go do the wedding. The videographer that was there had come all the way from like Arizona,
Oh my gosh.
rented everything that he had. I remember him lugging like Pelican case after Pelican case after Pelican case
Do you
that
make money?
that says like borrowed lenses on it, right?
Ugh.
So I mean, I get like I travel with all my gear, but like some stuff I don't travel with. But
Yeah.
like he was pulling like camera bodies and lenses out. I'm like, where did you even bring any of your own?
Right.
Whatever. It is what it is. You know, people
Everyone works different.
everybody works differently. Whatever. Come to find out, he wasn't even the guy that was going to edit it, right? He was just there to stand in and shoot. The guy that they originally hired, because this couple was from New Jersey, just down here,
Oh.
right? They hired a videographer from New Jersey to do it. He contracted it out to this dude, right? So already, like, you're in the weeds,
Oh yeah.
right? It's it's convoluted already.
Oh my goodness.
Whatever. Do the wedding. Easy day. Whatever. We send their sneak gallery back like a week later.
Yeah.
They message us, "Hey, we love it. Looks amazing. Cool. Appreciate it."
Sweet.
Probably about 3 or 4 weeks after that, I'm just scrolling through Instagram, right?
Uh-huh.
And I see one of our photos. And I'm like, oh, Sarah must have reposted something, right?
Yeah.
No. The videographer that was editing it, so not even the video, the editor of this,
Yeah.
went and took one of our pictures to make it the thumbnail for his video.
Oh, no, not okay.
Not okay. I message him. I said, hey, man, if you want pictures for your stuff, it's perfectly fine. I have a vendor-only gallery that's got like 10 pictures on it. Be more than happy to send it to you. I get a message back. Yeah, I don't need that. I just got them straight from the couple. That's not how that works.
No, yeah.
So I say, hey, that's not how that works. I have a vendor-only whatever. He goes, well, it's already done. I'm not taking it down. Also, do you know how hard it is to take a still frame? And this is all you videographers are going to laugh. He's like, do you know how hard it is to take a still frame from a video for a thumbnail? I'm like, click. It's not that hard. He's like, well, I'd have to do it and then run it through. I'm like, yeah, you might have to like do that if you like your video's trash. Like,
Yeah,
I get
right?
that, but like, it's very easy to take. Like, we do it all the time for
Yeah.
social media. You just take a frame,
That's the easiest thing you could possibly do. Like, find your favorite frame. Ba-ba.
take it. Guess what? Now you have a frame. Throw it in Lightroom if you want to, like whatever.
Yeah.
It's very simple. But that was like the basis of his argument. Anyways, that happens.
Oh, gosh.
So you know what? I'm like, I gave you a chance, and this is how you want to be. Went through the process on Instagram for copyright infringement. 10 hours later, and I remember I messaged
Oh,
you.
yeah.
Do you remember this?
Oh, yeah, I remember this.
It was like 11 o'clock at night when I got the email back, and I was like, yo, Chris, search this guy's page and tell me if you can see it, like see his page.
Yeah.
I can't see it anymore. I'm assuming he blocked me, right? You're like, nah, I can't find his page. Instagram, and this is how it works, just as a creative,
Yeah.
so you know, in order to like not have to deal with the repercussions of them like letting copyright through, if you go through the proper channels and give them the proper evidence for copyright infringement, they'll just take it down. Not only did they take it down, they took the page down. And for like 3 months, this dude just didn't have a business Instagram because but what's crazy is as soon as that happened, we get email back, you know, it didn't have to be like this. We can work it out. We can talk about it, blah, blah, blah. Bro,
You tried to.
I said,
you gave him the easiest out.
I gave you the easiest out already, and I was petty. So every time he would message me back, I'm like, I literally sent him an email one time too where he said, get wrecked, right? And that was it. Like, finally, like 6 months later, Instagram's like, yo, you know, the content's gone. I can't keep his page down forever unless you want to pursue like legal action. And like, we thought about it really hard because I'm petty. Like, but it's up and running now. But like, don't do that.
But see, I don't know. I feel like you have the right to be a little petty or a little more than petty in that situation because you gave him an out.
Yes.
All he had to do was be like, yeah, bro, send me those. Gets the 10 photos, picks one, go to post, edit post. I don't even think you have to delete the post.
You don't have to delete the post
To-
for the thumbnail.
cover, yeah.
No, you don't.
And then
Change and literally tag it.
save.
And that was the other thing. Like there was no credit given to us at all for the photo.
oh yeah, that's not your work, bro.
No.
That's stealing.
Yes, it's 100% theft.
Yeah. So like, I mean, they literally would have you could have done all of that in the same day, in the same hour. It
Yes.
takes seconds
The moment
to do all
the
that
moment I got a message back and it said, do you know how hard it is to take a still frame from a video? That's when I knew like, okay, I'm not working with like the sharpest rock in the garden. So like I knew that like from that point forward, I'm like, I know that this is gonna be a headache. I know that dealing with this dude is just gonna be like the worst.
Yeah, that was see, I can't show him like any grief because like you chose to be difficult.
Yes.
And instead of trying to work with someone, you wanted to be petty on your end. Like, oh, I'm not doing all that. Oh, I'm not doing it's a waste of my time. It would have taken you literally like 2 minutes to change everything. From getting the photos to changing your post and crediting the people who actually took the photos. And you would have been done scot-free. Probably would have even been like recommended by you guys or anything like that. Like that would have saved you so much headache and your business.
You ready for the best part?
Oh gosh.
This is where it becomes like the wedding nightmare.
Oh goodness.
right? The couple, the bride and groom, got involved because the videographer would not release their video to them until I DMCA'd his Instagram. So now they're
Now he's in double wrong.
yeah. So now they're messaging me because he's not releasing the product to them. And my only comment was like, "Hey, sorry this happened. Right, here's the photo stuff from me.
Yeah.
Right, we're square.
My job's done.
We are square.
I did everything right.
You have legal right to take action against him if he's not going to give you the product.
Yeah.
So
like that's not between me and you. That's between you and them.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
it got so bad to the point. This is the only time we've ever done this, and this is so petty. It finally got to a boiling point where we were on vacation, and they just would not stop harassing Sarah. So finally, I stepped in. I said, "You have 24 hours to download all your photos, right? We're going to release his Instagram right now. I'll send you a screen. Like, it's released. You have 24 hours. Because at the end of 24 hours, your gallery is not going to be online. Download your photos." And probably like within an hour, because you get the notifications.
Yeah.
Download after download after download. And then I set a timer on my phone. And it happened to be like 4 a.m. Timer, my alarm went off, logged in, offline the gallery. And that's the last I've heard from him.
That's wild because now they made you the bad guy for standing up for your legal right.
Yes.
And then they tried to go through you to get their video, which had nothing to do with you, even contractually. Like through a contract, there's no way that made you liable.
And it sucks for every other client out there. But now anytime we get an inquiry from that state, we immediately say no.
See,
I'm not dealing with people from that area ever again.
See, but now that's like, that's annoying because that's not even like your fault.
Nope.
It's that videographer's fault.
And luckily, like where they're from is like kind of like across the country, so we've only got like 1 or 2 out of there. But we've had to tell people like, no, sorry, we're not doing it.
Gosh, see, that's like the annoying part about weddings. Sometimes it's like you always get. It's not even the couple a lot of the time.
No, it's
Sometimes
everybody around them.
Yeah, sometimes it's either like, oh my gosh, like one wedding nightmare that I had. This one was with Courtney, and Courtney was there.
Yo, okay, so now shout out.
So
to
now
Courtney.
I got witness on this one, but it was, go figure, it was the same venue, but she'll know exactly what venue. But I think it was like my second or third time, I think, second shooting for her, and she was like, "Oh, you can go with the second photographer and like capture the guys and stuff like that." Sure thing, no problem. So I'm like with the guys all day and stuff like that. We get to like the ceremony, and we're like shooting the ceremony, and everything's going buttery smooth. And I noticed like as I'm filming, like I look over and the bridesmaid, like 2 of the bridesmaids specifically, are like finger waving, like, "Hey."
Oh no.
And I'm like, "Okay, hi." Like I'm working.
What
like,
do you need?
This is not. I don't flirt when we're on the clock. I don't. Mm-mm. And at this time, like, yeah, me and Kara were still. Yeah, we were married. So, yeah, I had my ring on, everything. I'm like, no, not a thing. Bye. So, reception comes, and we're starting like shooting and stuff, and I'm like, "Hey, Courtney," I'm like,
just so you know,
I'm like, just like hang out. Like, I don't even think she remembers this. I'm like, you mind like hanging out a little close? Like, that's fine. If that's okay, if it's comfortable. And if I remember correctly, she was like, yeah, sure, like whatever. And I don't think she thought anything of it, which is fine. I got hit on by 11 moms that day. One of the moms even tried to set me up with one of the bridesmaids that finger waved to me.
nice.
It was like comical. Like, "Hi, you're like really cute." I'm like, "Thank you."
Nah, bro, that's
Thanks, Mom.
You got to hit him with the hair whip. Like, I know, go away.
I didn't have long hair at the time. All the locks.
All the locks, like,
All
yeah,
the lock-
I'm aware. So,
I was like, "Thank you." Like that means a lot. And she's like, "My daughter is single." I'm like, "I bet she is." And I'm like, "But I'm not." And she's like, what do you mean? I'm like, I'm married. And she's like, oh, what a shame. And I'm like, it's not though.
It's not
I
though.
love my wife. My wife is fine.
It's actually like super nice.
Right. I'm like, it's actually been great. I didn't have to bother with the market. Like, this is great. I like actually petty those guys who are on the dating pool. But it was like it was like one after another through the entire reception night. And I was like, I just want to go home. I don't want to talk to nobody anymore. And it was funny because it was like the running joke between me and Courtney because it was like every wedding I second shot with her, it was like one, it was either one to two bridesmaids, particularly that were like obviously like flirty or flirting, and I'd be like, what the heck? Like, just trying to work. I just trying to work.
I just really want to do my job. And,
I really want to do my
and
job.
go
I'm not
home.
on the market. Like, so stop. And I'm like wearing, especially now because I got like, Kara got me this fatter ring. Like, it's obvious your boy is not on the market. Like, please stop.
Listen, so it's only happened to me like one or two times, and I'm just you're better than I am because I just like again, if you don't know like my personality like by now, like dude, I have no filter. I'm petty, and I'll just like I clap back at people. Like I had a girl come up to me one time at a wedding. I was working. I think it was like right like something like we were like in a like one of those like dead parts of the wedding at the reception, where from a video standpoint, right, you're gonna dance for like 3 hours. I
Right.
need like 30 minutes of that for your video, and that's about it.
Not even
So
that.
like, there's times like as a videographer, like we're just kind of hanging out, hanging around, and I was just kind of hanging out, hanging around, and this girl comes up to me and she goes, "Hey, I really like your tattoos," and I'm like, "Okay, this is not new. Like this happens like every
Right.
so often." I'm like, "Hey, cool, thanks." Normally that's it. It's just like a pass by interaction, and that's it. It's like a
Right.
little drive by.
Yeah.
Nope, not this time. She's like, she like planted roots, and she's like, I have some too, blah blah blah, and like, obviously a bridesmaid, right?
Yeah.
She like has like this slit in her dress, pulls it back so I can like see the entirety of her thigh. She's like, yeah, I just got this one done. I'm like, that's awesome, cool. And finally, like I forget what she did, but she like was looking at my left arm, and like she like just kind of touched it. She's like, I really like the line work. I said, hey, I'm gonna stop you right there. I'm married, and I held up my ring. Like, this is the one that Sarah got me for our 5 years, right?
Yeah.
That's got 5 giant diamonds in it. I said, I'm married, and even if I wasn't, you can't afford me. So, kick rocks.
You can't afford
You can't
me.
afford me.
That's the best
Like-
line. I gotta use that.
So, like, I understand being polite to people, and to an extent, absolutely. All right, you be a professional.
It's
But
so much harder as a guy too,
Yes.
and I feel because like everyone always buys what the woman says first, regardless. Like, I don't care who you are. That's what happens. Facts are facts, okay? And if we go like, oh no, like she did this move first, they don't care. Nobody cares. They're like, what did you do? They're like, well, I was trying to be
What did I do?
polite.
I was leaned up against the wall, stuffing my face with wedding cake.
Right?
That's what I did.
Like, I tried to run, okay? Like, you say the wrong thing, and they're like, well, he's harassing me, or he's doing this. And you're like, no, I didn't. I'm just trying to freaking
I
work.
just want to do my job.
I just want to do my job, go home, edit this wedding, and send it, and be done, okay?
Oh, man.
Oh, the nightmares.
Dude, I'm telling you, it's the longer that you do this, the more of this kind of stuff you run into until you either just raise your prices so high that you don't deal with it, or you just stop doing it altogether. Those are your two options.
That's been the funny thing, is the higher price point we've gotten, and Kara can, I think, attest to this just as much, is like the less, this is going to sound funny, the less creepy people we get,
Yes.
the less flirty people we get. Like, I'm talking about people who are doing this to us, obviously not, we're not talking about the couple. Like, the less flirty those people are towards us, the less like creepy, all that stuff. Like, the higher we've gotten, like the less it happens. Like, the past few weddings we've had none of that.
Dude, that price point just weeds them out.
It's crazy.
Right? And that's why, like, there's a whole nother discussion about, like, hey, do you put, like, and this, I know this comes up with you guys and in the community so much. Do you put your pricing on your website?
We do.
For the longest time, we didn't. And now we've gotten to a point where our prices are what they are, and we did. And guess what? It weeds out everyone that I don't
does.
want to work with.
It
Right?
does, though.
I priced myself high enough, and I am very like, hey, this is what it starts at. Take it or leave it.
Yeah.
Right? And the people that we're getting now are the people I want to work with.
Yeah, because I feel like those. I know we're going off like kind of steering away from like the horror part of the story, but like it's wild how that works because the people with money will look at your prices and go, okay, and you're like, well that's it, and they're like, yeah, like that's your price, right? And you're like, yeah, and they go, okay, that's it. They don't haggle you, they don't ask for discounts, like we have one wedding. They, I kid you not, I'm not gonna drop names or like tell you how much they paid, but like we told them like, okay, like this is what that package costs. And they go, all right, can we have you the day before? Oh yeah, I mean
It's gonna be this much more.
that'll be this much. Thinking like, oh, it's gonna scare them. They go, okay,
Yeah.
and like, can we add a second photographer to that as well? And I'm like, I mean, yeah, it's gonna be this much. Okay,
Okay.
and we were like, stop, like what? And they're like, also, can we add? So that brings our total to like 3 photographers, right? And we're like, yeah. And they're like, can we also get a second videographer? And
Sure can.
we're like, yeah, it'll be this much. And they're like, okay.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, that sounds great. And I'm like, oh
Cool.
my god, was it really that easy?
Yeah.
Like it was. Are you? It was. If it didn't feel real, we're like, we're gonna send this invoice, and they're gonna be like, can we get that lower? Which, in our case, we'd probably be like, okay, there it is.
Yeah.
But they never did. We were just kind of like, what? They just took everything and just went like, all right, sounds good.
Dude, that's like one of the couples, and it sounds like we're getting off track, but it really does relate because
Yeah.
before I get into this, like just to kind of bring it back, the lower your pricing, the more horror stories you're gonna run into.
Oh,
so like
1,000%.
it directly relates to the topic.
Yeah.
But it's one of the couples that we have coming up that's getting married next year, right?
Yeah.
Was the exact same thing. It was, hey, we're getting married, far away from you, like, so we gave them the package price. Say we're gonna need this, travel fee, our hotel, stuff like that. They're like, okay, cool. We'll send the invoice. We get like a phone call like a month later, same couple. They're like, hey, our parents have property in the Bahamas. We want to do our engagement session there. We're like, okay, well, it's gonna be this much, just pay to get us out there.
Yeah.
Like, I'll do you one better. We'll get you out there, and then you guys can have the property for a week. So it's like, I need
Yeah.
you to be every one of my clients,
Right.
Because it's like those higher end clients, you're not gonna have a horror story.
There's no questions.
No.
There's no like haggling, like I said. There's no. They just go, yeah, that's what we want, and we make it happen. And that's the client. That's that clientele, and it's wild.
Yeah.
Because they're not asking for more. They read what you give, and they go, that looks good,
They also know what they want,
and that's it.
which
Yeah,
is
and they know what they
makes
want.
my job so much easier.
And the lower the pricing is, they go, can we get this? And we're like, well, that's going to cost you more. I'm like, well, we can't pay that. And you're like, well, I mean, that's what it costs.
That's what
But
it
like,
is,
but we
yeah.
want that. And you're like, that's what
I
it
understand
costs.
that you want it.
I get what you're saying, but this is what it costs. So like, if you can't pay that, then that's not what you don't get it.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, this photographer does it. I'm like, okay.
Call
And
them.
we got to the point where
yeah.
we were like, call them. Like, we're not that photographer. Like, that's not how we run our business. We don't. This isn't Amazon. We don't price match here.
No.
Like, or was it Best Buy?
Anybody, yeah.
We don't price match here. Like, we don't do that. Like, if you want to price match, go find somebody who's willing to price match. Like, that's not our business.
not me.
We don't run it that way. You don't get to tell us how we run our business. Like, that's why we're a business, because we get to make our own rules.
Listen, I had a mom tell me one time, and this is kind of like a mini horror story. We didn't even get that far. We didn't even get to the wedding.
Oh no.
Girl calls us, hey, I want to do a consultation. And this, again, leads into like, this was a contract updating moment for us.
Right.
Called us. We did a consultation with her. She loved it. She's like, hey, I want to book you guys. You sound great for my wedding. I'm like, sick. Awesome, right? Everything seems normal. Send her a contract. I'm like, hey, who all is paying? She goes, it's just me, right? It's coming off my card. I'm paying for it. I'm like, perfect, right? We'll send you a contract,
Right.
your name on it. Here you go. Send it to her. She signs a contract. She pays the invoice. Cool, right? Normal day at the office.
Yeah.
The next day, I get a phone call from this girl's mom. Granted, she's like 22, right? From her mother. She made a snap decision. and her fiance, it's caused a lot of problems and a pretty large fight between the two of them now. So we would really appreciate it if you would just give her a refund, and then let us kind of talk it over the weekend, and then if we still want to work with you, we'll come back. I said, ma'am, first of all, one, there's only one person on that contract, and she signed it. Two, she's above the legal age to be an adult,
Right.
and she used her card from her bank account.
Yeah.
So I don't know why I'm talking to you. I need to talk to her. It got to such a hassle point where I told Sarah, hey, look, we're going to refund her because I don't want to deal with it. Because even if we did go through with it, I've still got to deal with that mom now. I've got to deal with his family. And this seems like a mess that I don't want to put myself in.
No.
We refund her. Mom calls me back. She goes, hey, so we're going to talk it over. And, she still really wants to use you guys. And I told her, I said, no. I literally, on the phone, I said, no, thank you.
No.
She goes, what do you mean? I'm like, I don't want to work with you. After all this, I'm not interested. She goes, well, that really doesn't seem that fair. Blah, and said something else. And I don't really snap. Like, I get I'll kind of quip at people a little bit.
Yeah.
But I don't ever snap at people.
No.
And this lady broke me. I said, I want you to listen real carefully. 3 things here. 1, I don't care what you think is fair and not fair. That's called life, and I run my business a certain way. Number 2, you seem like the person that no one is going to want to work with. So as long as you're still trying to control your daughter's life at the age of 22, when she doesn't live with you and she's using her own money for things, you guys are going to have a real bad time. And 3, because she had said something about getting the business or something needing. She essentially said hey, you need my business. I said, not only do I not need your business, but when your wedding day comes around, I'm going to laugh from my boat that I'm not working it and I'm taking a day off. I don't need you.
It's just wild when people they try to flip the script. Like, no, you need us to keep running. And it's like, how many people get married on a regular basis? And keep in mind, I had a job that I did not hate before this. I just enjoy doing this more. I don't need your money.
Yeah, newsflash, lady. I made more in.
You don't make the world.
I made more in Q1 than some people make all year.
Yeah.
I don't need your money.
My first year full time, I think it was almost triple. I almost tripled my income.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm fine. Thank you.
Yeah, dude. It's and we got to laugh out of this. It's
yeah.
Last year I paid more in taxes than some people make. It is what it is.
Yes. I think you paid more in taxes than I made doing my other job, which was wild to me.
So what's crazy? What's super crazy about this? And for those of you that don't know,
that can be classified as a wedding nightmare.
I used to I was in the military for 12 years, right? And I remember brand new in the military, you get paid biweekly, so every 2 weeks.
Okay.
And as enlisted bottom of the barrel nothing person, you make $730 every 2 weeks, right? So $1,400 a month.
Oh my gosh.
And I remember asking one of these kids one time. I said, "Hey, right before I got out, I said, how much? What's your yearly look like? Because at this point in time, I was making 70, 80K in the Navy, right?"
Okay.
He's like, "Yeah, I think last year I made 27,000." I'm like, "Bruh,
that's rough,
bruh."
Especially now in this economy, dude.
Well,
I ain't getting you nothing.
It's rough, and now I look back on it now, and this sounds so so bad, but it's dude, I think I got more money in my watch case. Doing what we do now is just and by raising our prices to where we are now, not only am I living a better life, but I'm getting so much further away from having those nightmares.
Yes, and people don't understand that. I get it when you're starting out. When you're starting, you need experience. That's in my opinion, that's the most crucial thing, because nothing is a better teacher than an experience. Experience will teach you things faster, harder, and you will not learn more on your toes than with experience. Because in the wedding industry, you'll be dealt a situation that you're like, what do I have to solve this right now, otherwise this entire day goes to trash.
Yeah.
And it's wild how fast you come up with solutions and put on the spot. Bro, duct tape is going to be your best friend. Have a roll of that in your bag.
I keep a roll of gaff tape in my
Yeah.
case now. But you know
Like,
why?
it's
But
wild.
but you know why I keep a roll now?
No.
How many experiences or how many things came up where I'm like, dude, I just need some tape.
Yeah.
And that's
That's
how it works.
that's all it is. Sometimes you're like, you know what? I don't really need an extra cable. Buy it.
By
Just
by
just buy it. Just that 2-pack is like $8 more. Buy it. Trust me, nothing is worse, especially being a videographer,
yeah.
is worse than a cable going bad on you and you don't have a backup.
We should
Because
do,
a lot of times that's your only like way to get through something. And if you don't have that cable, you're just kind of like, well, I'm SOL.
we should do a whole episode on that. Just like the odds and ends and accessory gear that we carry with us.
Oh, the random crap that
Because
we
everyone
carry.
talks about like, oh, this is my gear setup. No one talks about like I keep a pack of zip ties
Right.
like, in there, or like, dude, I
I
keep
think
like
I do, actually.
like I got like the rubber bands and my like. We should do a whole episode on like all like the random stuff that goes with us everywhere, just because like
Right.
a situation has come. I keep a cigar cutter when we go to weddings now, because I can't tell you how many weddings I've been to, and the grooms are like, oh, we have cigars, but like this little rinky-dink plastic cutter and they can't cut them. So I'm like, I smoke cigars. I'm like, I'll just bring my cutter with me. That way, like, because that way the picture is gonna turn out better too.
Yeah,
And,
that
like.
that
So like the random crap,
the
that
random
just
stuff that
accumulates, you're
just
like,
sits in
bring
there.
that, bring that.
Like, also, multi-tool.
Oh yeah,
Get even if you don't use it for anything else in the world, multi-tool will be your best friend.
yes.
Like,
Keep one with you.
because it's got a knife, it's got pliers, it's got a flathead, it's got a screwdriver, like it's got everything you need, and it's like the biggest like, oh, thank God I have this tool in your bag that you will ever have.
That, and keep every Allen key that you ever get.
Yes.
Like anytime you buy anything from like small rig
oh yeah.
till to whatever, and it comes with Allen keys, just keep them.
I
Keep
have
every
the-
one of them.
I bought, so when you buy the Peak Design like capture clip thing, it comes with one, but it has a key ring.
Yeah,
Throw it on your keys.
I actually have that same one
I
in
have-
my case right now.
I have it on my keys.
It comes in a
lit-
little gray bag too.
Oh,
I
yeah.
keep so much little stuff in there, man.
I keep that Allen wrench though specifically on my keychain, like because I know every time I drive, like I have it with me. So if I drive to a wedding and I forget something, I always have at least that. Dude, that tightens my tripods. It tightens down like my plates. It tightens so many random things, and it's so crazy how universal that one like
oh yeah.
Allen key is. It's wild, but oh yeah, that thing goes with me everywhere.
That's why, like, I'm a big fan, and this is so off topic by now.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, it could be like if
Yeah.
you don't have the right tools at a wedding, you could be in for a nightmare too.
Dude, there's been times where a freaking quarter has saved my life.
Oh yeah. But that's why I love the small rig stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's all magnetic.
Oh,
So like they're
that's-
Allen wrenches that come with stuff. Like
yeah.
they have slots built into the things, and it has magnets to hold it in there.
Oh,
It's like the side handles, the top handles, the cages on the bottom come with keys, like,
Oh,
and
that's
it's all magnetic, and it's so nice just to be able to know that it's there.
Have you ever like not brought a memory card?
A memory card? No, but I had, and this is laugh all you want, and I shoot on the R5, so this is gonna
Oh,
make this is gonna make
gosh.
sense why this was a nightmare. I have shown up to a wedding before with only like 3 batteries, and I'm like,
Oh, how?
Jesus, take the wheel. Like, how is like get the shot, turn it off.
Yeah, you
And
have
then,
to.
and then set the shot up and be like, everybody ready? Click, turn it off. Like, we're talking like ultra. Like,
How'd you get through the ceremony?
it's very carefully. It's in airplane mode. The screen brightness is all the way down. Like,
my cameras are always in airplane
we're
mode.
like struggling, like ultra eco mode, power reserve, because it's like,
Oh my,
dude, I've just got to get enough footage to put a video together because I only have 3 batteries.
that's wow. So you made it through with just 3.
At
on
one point in time,
R5.
well, okay, not technically just 3. I'm gonna say like 3 and a quarter, because I had fortunately for me, I had my drone, right? So I took the drone battery out that has a USB-C on the back of it,
Uh-huh.
and plugged the USB-C into the drone battery, and then plugged it into the camera to get like the last like 30 minutes out of it.
Bravo.
And I'm like, dude, you do what you got to do in the situation.
I also leave because every Canon camera you buy, well, besides the C70 and R3, you get the same like battery charger.
Yeah.
I keep one of those in my car, and I keep one in Kara's car. She probably has no idea it's there, but it's there.
Nice.
And because like you never know, like when you drive up and you're like, oh cool, like oh shoot, this battery's dead.
Yeah.
Well, that was my backup. Got a charger in the car. Grab it. Every venue has an outlet. plug that sucker in and let it charge until you need it. Which, if you're shooting on a Canon battery, those LPE9s or E6,
I think it's the
LPE
6.
6.
Yeah.
Sorry, LPE 6 is like it will last you what 2 hours ish.
Yeah, ish.
So but it only takes like what an hour and a half ish to
So,
charge.
so fun fact, I did a lot of like looking into this because now we do the same thing. We take a charger.
Yeah.
And I did some deep diving and emailed some people. Those batteries, let's say they're completely depleted.
Uh huh.
If the total charge time is like 100%, let's say 100% of the charge time,
Yeah.
the front 50%, so like half of the time, that battery goes from 0 to 80%. It's 80% to 100% that takes the back 50% because it's when they're depleted. It almost like those are like hey, everything fast charge because they're I didn't know if you don't know this, they're intelligent batteries, they're smart batteries.
The
Like,
new ones.
yeah, that's why you can go into your
Oh.
camera, like on the R5. I can show you later, and you'll see how many shots have been taken on that specific battery. Like
Oh.
the battery is an intelligent battery.
Because I've only seen like the battery life thing where it's like this light when it has like the red dot and it's like this battery's not that good. And
No,
you're like,
it'll no. So the new ones, it'll tell you how many actual shots have been taken on that battery.
oh, that's cool.
They have like a memory in them.
Oh,
So
that's sweet.
Canon has figured out that like we can like just powerhouse charge them to like 50, like to like 80%
Yeah.
with no damage. But if they went to 100%, you could like damage them.
Yeah.
So the 80% to 100% takes another half of the whole charging time because it's like almost like a trickle charge to make sure the batteries don't get damaged.
Oh.
So yeah,
So you could just swap the batteries out.
you could swap them
Once
out.
your battery dies in camera, go over to the charger, dump it, and
In
then
like
put
30 minutes, you'll have an 80% battery.
Oh, so,
You'll have 3
so
bars.
you technically, I don't recommend this at all, but you technically could run an entire wedding on 2 batteries.
Please don't do that.
No, don't.
Don't
I'm
ever
not.
do that.
That's not a recommendation. I'm just saying you could.
Worst case scenario.
Worst case
yeah,
scenario,
you could.
You could make it happen. Okay. Yeah, I showed up to one wedding where I was like, yeah, I'm good to go. I got all my memory cards, batteries, and everything. Turn on my camera. I was like, oh shoot, this one's from the last wedding. I can't shoot on this card because it only had like 2 gigs left.
Yeah.
So I'm like, pop it out. I was like, no worries. I got cards in my case. Open up the card case. I have 2 different cases. If you don't know, I now bring both of them to weddings, regardless. But from this day, but I open it and it's the wrong card case, so it doesn't have any of my CF Express B cards
Oh
in it,
man.
and it only has it has 2 gig cards and a 32 gig card and a 64, but the 64 was shot also on the last wedding.
Oh, Chris.
So I've never been so thankful that like it was photo only. That I filled up the 32 gig card, I filled up the one of the 2 gigs, and I almost filled up the other 2 gig card. Bro, I barely made it out of that wedding. Barely. C-Raw saved my life.
Yeah,
C-Raw.
it will.
And
C-Raw will save your life.
oh my gosh, that was so stressful. And to like get home, I'm like, we're dumping these cards now.
Yeah.
Like, and then literally my other card case was like sitting, like keyboard, card case.
Yeah.
And I was like, go freaking figure.
That's right.
It's right in front
Dude,
of
that's
my
right.
face.
Mine sit right next to my Mac like all the time.
I was so mad at myself. 'Cause that could have been such an easier day.
Listen, I'll kind of wrap it up with like not a wedding horror story, but just like it was a horror story for me. Yeah, and it's funny. It's gonna be funny to everybody else. But I decided one time, and I don't get creative often, but I was like, you know, I'm gonna wake up early. I know a spot where like the sun, when it rises, comes like through these trees in this orchard. Looks
Oh, nice.
amazing.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go shoot it as like stock footage, not to sell it as stock footage, but like I just want the shot.
Yeah, to have it.
To have it. And you know, I don't shoot a lot of low light stuff, so it'll be good practice. And I think it'd be fun to like play around with the color grade.
Yeah.
Drive an hour and a half out there,
Oh gosh.
get set up, get the tripod out, get the camera on the tripod, turn the camera on, no card camera. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right, took the cards out. Go in my bag. Cool, left the case at the house.
Oh man.
Get all the way back to the house, right? And this is kind of like just like the planets had aligned. At the time, we had somebody that was watching our dogs while we were out of town, like the week prior.
Uh-huh.
So I had given them my house key because Sarah still has hers.
Yeah.
Get back to the house. I'm like, where's Sarah's car at? Call Sarah. So I'm like, hey, where you at? She goes, oh, well, I decided to get up, early and get some errands, go run some errands and go shopping. I'm like, so now not only did I not get my sunset, but now I can't even get back in my house. So I'm just chilling in the driveway for like an hour.
Defeated.
Dude, I'm telling you, like, I got done that day. I'm like, I'm not doing nothing else. I don't care. My day's over. And granted, like, the grand scheme of things, it's like 8 in the morning now. I'm like, my
Right.
whole day's ruined. It's over. I'm not doing anything.
I mean, it's rough sometimes. You start it off like on a bad foot like that. Like it's hard to recover.
it is. It's hard to recover. And, like, it's comical now thinking about it.
Right.
Because, like, it affected no one but me.
No.
And I'm just like, just imagine, like, this grown man sitting on my tailgate, like, swinging my feet because, like, I'm on the tailgate. I'm just mad.
You look like a little kid who got in trouble.
Yes.
Like,
I look like a little kid who mom's like, go outside right now and don't come back in.
oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. This is a lot of fun. Hopefully you shared some laughs and learned from our horror stories.
Yes.
We have plenty more, that's for sure. So we might make another episode like later down the line. But
Might do part 2.
right, maybe a part 2. Also, drop any comments down below and let us know your horror stories. We would love to hear them because it makes all of our day better when you know you're not perfect. Like, we know we're not perfect. So, like, when we hear somebody else's, they're like, oh man, I haven't done that yet. Let
Yeah.
me write that down. So, we'll see you guys on the next episode. Peace.